I wanted to ask you about local musicians.
Okay.
So, what do you think about the local scene here in Cincinnati in comparison to Florida?
Oh wow.
To
Well,
Fort
that's
Walton.
that's opening up a can of worms. Um, no, there's a lot of great bands down in the Destin Fort Walton area. I've got to be friends with pretty much all of them, and there's some great talent down there without a doubt. Um, One thing I do appreciate that well, obviously the scenery's a lot better, and and the fact that the club owners down there are hip to the fact that those of us that appeal to a certain demographic that we should go with that and play early gigs. But yeah, there's a lot of great musicians down in Florida. And of course, first and foremost, pops into my mind is my running buddy and my partner in crime, Brandon Day.
Oh, he's
And so if you
excellent.
get to see this, Brandon, I'm
He
toasting you, my friend.
he's excellent. He really is.
Yeah, there's a lot of great musicians, a lot of great solo folks down there too. I mean, I know the one we've had in our CD deck the last few weeks, the lovely and talented Miss Jessie Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
Between the two of them, they cleaned up at the Beachcomber Awards.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, well deserved on both counts. Um, yeah, there's a very good music scene in Destin. I will say this. Um, One thing I did miss about being here in Cincinnati is the plethora
Yeah.
of outstanding musicians we have in this
Exactly.
town, and I missed them all. I mean, just across a wide swath of genres, and um, God, it's truly amazing to me too that there's still so many of us out that are still able to make a living doing this in
Exactly.
this crazy town. Because, well, that would be my biggest complaint. I've always said this. I'm not ragging on Cincinnati in any way, shape, or form, but the thing is that down Florida way, it's tourist driven.
Mm-hmm.
And during the peak months of the tourist season, we got a built-in crowd, and we've got a very receptive crowd, and we're playing to people from all over the country, if not all over the world. And let's just face it, Cincinnati is not a tourist destination. It's just not. And there are far too many brilliant musicians in this town who are, spend all their time playing the empty rooms or near empty rooms, and it's really tragic, quite honestly. And a lot of the best musicians around here have to go on the road in order to survive because they're much more appreciated elsewhere. The two that instantly pop into my mind are Dallas Moore and Sonny Moorman.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them travel all over the country and then bust their asses all over the country and are well received all over the country. People actually pay to hear them play all over the country. And they come back to Cincinnati and they're playing, Billy Bob's local gun and knife club. It's
But I don't think people realize. I kind of think though with the revitalization of Covington and Pike Street and Newport, I think it's becoming, people are becoming more and more aware of it if they're into music at all. But one thing I don't think people realize is how well the West Side is represented.
oh yeah.
I mean, we have some of the most arguably best guitar players.
Don't tell anybody at the CEA Awards because the West Side doesn't exist in their eyes.
Well, and that's bullshit. But we look at Chris Goins. I
Yep.
mean, you. Who else? I mean,
Oh, I could rattle off
well,
a few.
Joe Westfield.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's excellent. Timmy Goldringer, though he has
Yep.
picked up a lot of awards.
Well, Timmy is a total renaissance man. I
Yeah.
mean, he's got it all going. The menus have been together, how many years? Probably 35 years, if not more. And then he's got the thing going with the old folks playing for the old folks, and then he's got the thing with the kids where he's teaching young kids music and everything. So he's got the whole thing going on. So
Yeah.
my hat's off to him, man.
Right.
He's adapted. He's he's a perfect example of somebody who's adapted.
Right. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly.
You know.
And hell, I don't think Tim even learned how to play the guitar until he was in his 40s. I might be wrong about that part, but at least I don't recall ever seeing him play on stage until in his 40s. So, you know, it just goes to show it's never too late.
Yeah. And then, and also, you know, we have the bluegrass roots music
Right.
here on the
Beardos.
west side. The Beardos.
The Beardos.
The Tillers, the Buffalo Webs. I mean, they came right out of the west side.
Yep.
And their musicianship is just outstanding.
Yep.
But, you know, unless you're into that kind of music, you wouldn't know. But, I mean, any night of the week, except maybe Sunday and Monday, you could probably hear music like that anywhere in Cincinnati.
Yep, that's very true. And I'll always be especially indebted to the Beardo movement for running all the ethnically confused white kids out of the crow's nest. Thank you very much, guys. I will be forever grateful for you saving my lifelong bar.
Yeah.
Because things was getting
your
pretty
tears, your home away from home.
Right, things were getting pretty shady there in the early 2000s.
They were. It was scary.
All the little gangster wannabes, and they brought in the Beardo bands, and all the gangsters went away.
Yeah.
So that was a beautiful thing. I will be forever in their debt for that.
But, you know, if you want to hear music in Cincinnati, I mean, compared to other places, I mean, remember when we were in Myrtle Beach and we ran into that Allman Brothers guy?
Yeah.
That said, you know, if you're playing every night like you were at the time, you know, you need to stay where you are because it's not like that everywhere.
Right.
I mean, look at Nashville. Those poor people play for tips.
Yeah, I know. That's another burr in my saddle.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's supply and demand, and especially some place like Nashville where everybody goes to chase their dream or whatever, and you know, if you won't play for tips, there's 10,000 other guys waiting in the wings that will. And I hope to God that never spreads here. Maybe that's actually one reason I should be happy that Cincinnati is the way it is, because you got to pay our asses,
right?
You know, someplace like Nashville, and you know, even when you and I have gone to Memphis and stuff, there's a lot of people playing for tips, playing in Handy Park for tips, and you know, it's. I've only been in New Orleans once, so I can't really speak for the scene there. I only spent one night there, so I really can't elaborate on that. But yeah, and I will say this: the Florida scene will pay you because they got to keep that tourist money rolling in.
Right.
And people don't go to the Florida Panhandle to chase their dream of being stars. Whereas people go to Nashville to do that. Right. So they're willing to play for anything. They think somehow magically somebody from Music Row is just going to walk in the door and, we're signing you. And, you know, people in Florida don't have those delusions where we're just there to entertain the tourists. We know our roles and they're willing to pay us for our role. Right. So.
Gotta go where you gotta go.
That's right.
So how are you doing being back? You've been back 3 weeks, and are you doing okay?
Taking the town by storm. No, I can't complain. Ideally, I'd like to pick up at least one more night a week, because when I was doing the Florida thing, I was playing during tourist season. I was playing 6-7 nights a week. And then during the off season, things would get lean, and I'd play 3 or 4 nights a week, which is pretty much what I'm back to doing right now here in Cincinnati. So I've still got Florida during the summer months. So as long as I can maintain a steady 3 or 4, that's good, because I'm getting older anyway. And quite honestly, gigging 6 nights a week forever and ever and ever. It's taking a
toll on you.
It's taking a physical toll a little bit. So as long as we're getting the bills paid.
Yeah. Well,
Then I'm with my honey.
yeah. Well, you had a good health report, though.
I'm sorry.
You had a good health report.
Yeah.
So that's not a worry anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Well.
I came back home to my honey to get healthy again. Because
And I'm doing my damnedest.
I know.
Sneaking in
the
good food.
The Florida lifestyle caught up.
Yeah. Sneaking in good food for him.
Yeah. Permanent vacation. Permanent vacation catches up to you sometimes.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And our healthy lifestyle that we were leading down there.
Well, that's...
and our great accommodations.
Ew. Well, we won't. That's another interview.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is over and out.